Alright, let's get these brushes in. You can see I've already put one set in to make sure I was getting it right. You want to notice a couple of things. You've got each side has a metal brush holder and a Bakelite brush holder. So you want to make sure that the Bakelite, which is the insulated one, goes on the side that has the insulated lead. Hopefully you can see that insulated lead. I took a picture of this before I took it totally apart. These brushes are out, but these are in. And you can see the metal brush holder has the uninsulated lead. I like to take pictures. I can't depend on my memory. You also want to make sure, and we'll use this picture again. Hopefully it's a little easier to see. You want to make sure that you get the angle. There's an angle on the brushes when they're new. Hopefully you can see that. You can see the angle on the end. You want to make sure you get that angle right when you install them. So that's another nice thing about the picture. So you got the two brush holders, you got a spring, and you got a pin that holds them in. The spring, let's see if we can get a good shot of this. If you see this is not easy to do. Alright, this ain't working, but alright. Hopefully you can see there's a little slot right here where the pin goes in the brush holder. There's a slot in that bracket, and that spring fits. That end of that spring fits in that slot, so you got to make sure it's in that slot. And you know, this is all in the shop manual, so use your shop manual. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and assemble this. Here again, I'm using my picture, but you've got to, I went ahead and loosely put the brush in the way it needed to go, and we can take the lead, and I know you can't see this, but, and I'm sorry, but you don't want to strip the threads in that Bakelite. Alright, that one's on. Whoop. Yeah, that's right. Again, don't strip these threads. Wait a minute. the brushes will be adjusted again probably once they're in and the armature's in. So we got the brushes loose. Now we'll put them in like this. We'll get the spring here. There's the spring. It takes a little finagling to get everything to line up. The pin has a tapered end on it to help. Alright. And we want to make sure the spring is in that slot. Which it is. Alright. Now, I am going to clean the ends of these. With just a little bit of, there we go, a little bit of wax and grease remover. So I don't want any oil on the ends of these brushes. Alright. So now we're going to move you. Alright. So here's the sort of tricky part. I'm going to put this over the armature. Then I've got to move the springs out and the brushes out. Get it slid down, and then you got to locate the pin. There. So there's a pin. This body is pinned to this snout, and make sure it turns, which it does. And I want to make sure that the brushes are seated correctly on the commutator, and one of them is not. So basically what you want to do here, and I really can't show you, you're going to take and loosen that screw that holds the brush in. Move that brush just a little bit to make sure it's staying good and flat, or parallel if you want to call it, with the commutator, and tighten it up. So let's go ahead and we'll do that and we'll come back. Alright, let's get finished up here. If you remember, I had a new bushing in this cover and got it cleaned up, painted it with some nice Seymour stainless steel paint. I thought it'd come out pretty nice. So we're going to put just a little bit of lube on the thrust and just a very tiny amount on the end of the shaft. Not trying to go crazy here. And we'll put just a smidgen in there. Alright. So, I've already looked at where the through bolts go. So I've got to line up this hole with that seam right there. Oh, let me tell you one thing. To adjust these brushes, had to use an offset screwdriver because there's no way you're going to get to those screws with a regular screwdriver. So I only had to adjust one. So I thought that was pretty good. Alright, let's get this on there. Get the through bolts in. Doesn't seem to be any tang that keeps this cover in one certain place, but let's make sure they're, let me turn it around. Make sure there's not a way that it, no, guess not. Look at that bushing snug, well, not snug, but with a little bit of lube on it, it's definitely, you can tell it's nice and it's new. You can tell it's new. And we'll get the through bolts in. So what I'm going to do is just eyeball it like that. There, it's done. Let's hope it turns. Oh yeah, feels good. So, there's the finished product. Not bad. Here, let's get a little better view of it. Let me move you over here. There's the finished product, and it's ready to go back in. Make sure you use the special starter bolts. Regular bolts will not work. They will not, they're not tight enough, the special diameter on the shoulder of the bolt. So make sure you use the right starter bolts, the Studebaker starter bolts, when you bolt it up. Thanks for watching.